morning everyone, welcome to my Flosstube channel. I'm Gemma, also known as Stitchy Gem. Not been on for a little while, I apologise, but that does mean that I have lots to talk about. I have some finishes, so we'll just get right into it. So my finish is Henry VIII and His Wives by Clouds Factory, and here it is. It still needs ironing as always, and I'm still undecided how I'm going to fully finish it, FFO it, but I've remembered to put my initials and the year, the month and year that I finished it on there. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out. I stitched it on 14 count Aida that I tea-dyed myself, and I used the call for DMC threads. Really enjoyed stitching this. It was so much fun, and I do love my history. But I must say that Catherine Parr was a struggle. There was so much. That's probably the most metallic thread I have used, and it wasn't too bad. I used my thread conditioner, it was fine. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Add it to my pile that's ever growing for FFOs. Oh, another thing I did change, I put beads, you can't quite tell, I used beads instead of the orange in the middle of the flowers, just to add a little bit of something. And I put white beads on Henry's hat as well, because I don't French knot. I've tried multiple times. I'm just not getting it. So beads are the simple solution to that. And then I do have another finish. It's not cross stitching, but it's still crafting. I have this little squirrel. It was a little kit from Aldi that Will bought for me, and on Sunday afternoon, Will had his first vaccine on Saturday, and he wasn't feeling great on Sunday, so while he was snoozing on the sofa, I got this out and I made this. So the kit came with everything you needed to make this little guy. And he's not perfect. There are, like, where is it? Like he's gonna not quite stitched it properly there. His head is a little bit wonky. One arm is higher than the other, but you know, I like it. I think he's really cute. I did all the little embroidery on his tail, the little flowers and stuff, and all his face and his belly, and yeah, I like him. I just need to find somewhere for him to live. He's currently living hanging from my living room window. But yeah, he's my little finish. He was a start and a finish on Sunday. I enjoyed doing that. So yeah, that's him. Did post on my Instagram. I threw away the packaging, but if you're interested in, I don't even know if Aldi have still got these in. But I did say on Instagram I do need a name. And I have had some suggestions. Someone suggested Denny, D-E-N-I. Someone suggested Sid. Another person suggested Sophie. I can't remember, I did have a couple more. But if anyone has any suggestions, please comment below. And we can find him a little name. He might end up living in my car, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that's him. So that is my finishes. I do have new starts, but I'm unable to show them as they are gifts for people, and I'm not sure if they will watch my channel, so I don't want to take that chance. So you'll just have to wait for those until they're finished and given to the people that they are for, unfortunately. But I've worked on a couple of whips. My first whip, work in progress, is the Cat's Reflection Sampler by Peruvian Flair. So this, This is a cell. Get Michelle Bendy started. That's a finished article, and this is where I am up to. There we go. So I think the last time I showed this, I can't remember if I only had the red cat done or if I had the yellow one done as well. I can't remember. I've done quite a bit more anyway, so I've done more of the border. I've added the green cat here. He's called Felix, and I've done the reflection of the yellow cat, who is called, now please forgive me if I'm butchering the Peruvian language, but Pucala, which means sponge in an indigenous Peruvian language. Now I picked that because one of our old cats was called Sponge, and we had a cat called Felix, and we still have Lolly, who is the middle cat. And that in this, I cannot remember the name of the language, but it's an indigenous Peruvian language, and Lolly, or Candy, in this language is Anaka, which is a massive coincidence because the lady who designed this is called Anna. So yeah, but this is a really nice stitch. I've done it on an 18 count Aida, printed Aida from Claire Brown X Stitch. It's pinky purple, and I've used classic Colourworks threads for the stitching. I've done it 1/1, and it's coming along quite nicely. I decided, well, I saw on Instagram someone else had stitched this, and they had started doing their reflection, so to speak, and they'd done it in half stitches, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea to make it look like more of a reflection rather than just a straight up mirrored image, and doing it 2/1. So I have done it one strand and half crosses. But yeah, I like that. I have some FFO ideas for when it is finally done. It shouldn't take much longer, to be fair, just to, because that cat, that half stitch, it stitched up in no time, so just get that border finished and then the 2 other little cat reflections, and that is done. So that's that. My next week I decided to work on is an oldie. I think I showed this in my first video, and I hadn't worked on it since. It is Bothy Threads, Let Us Be Friends, the Rendale design. 2 guinea pigs. We have 3 guinea pigs. One of them kind of looks like this, the other 2 are white, and ours have red eyes. But I had to do this. I had to buy it. Plus guinea pigs are awesome. So that is what it will look like when it's finished. I think the last time I showed you, I just had some outline of the first guinea pig's head, and this is where we are now. Look on the side. So the guinea pig has a proper face. The last time I think I had just more of this like orange and beige outline. You could tell what it was, that it was going to be a guinea pig, but it didn't have a proper face. And Will asked me, he was like, can you please just stitch the eyes, because it just looks really creepy. So I stitched the eyes, the nose is done, and then I decided to do the green leaf. So this came as a kit, everything with it. It's on 14 count, like a speckled Aida. That is that. Like that one. So that is all my stitching. I have quite a lot of haul. I'm looking at it, it's on the floor around me. It's like, oh my goodness. So where shall I start? I'll start with my Stitchy Save. I'm calling it a Stitchy Save. So I went in our local shops. In the UK, lockdown has eased, and and non-essential shops are now open again, so I could go charity shopping, which was awesome. I went in one of our shops in the town centre that I know usually has a good range of photo frames and stuff like that, and everything in there is £1. So I did find a frame for my mermaid, my Nora Corbett mermaid, but I will show that when I've actually put her in the frame. But whilst I was rummaging through the frames on the floor, I found this. Now, it looks huge. So this was tucked behind, it was on the floor, tucked behind a load of other frames, and I came and I was like, oh, I was like, I have to take that, I have to save this from the shop. It's like, it's not cross stitch, well, it's like it's done in wool. If I get really close, it's like wool, but it's full coverage, it's all stitched, it's in like a tent stitch in a wool, and it's a photo frame of an eagle. I'm not sure if it's being professionally framed. It's like taped up at the back. You can tell through the tape. I mean, it's old, it's like brown, but like where they've put the fabric that they've sewn on, and I think I can see that it says it was an anchor kit. You can see like the key for the colours and stuff down the side. So I saved this from the charity. Saved it. I say saved because as crafters, we all know like how long stuff takes, and the time and effort and love that goes into the things that we make. And to think that someone out there spent so much time making something, and then it's just ended up on a charity shop floor, unloved, behind a load of photo frames. It just makes me a little bit sad. I really wish there was like, I'm worried about taking tape off the back and ruining the framing. This has spurred me on to now, whenever I make something and frame it, to put a sticker on the back of it with my name on, and like when I stitched it and stuff, so that if my projects, my cross stitching ever ends up in a charity shop, that someone will know where it came from. So whoever stitched this, thank you so much. I will appreciate it. I have no idea where it's gonna go. It's sat in my hallway for the past week. But I love birds anyway. I do like birds. Birds of prey. So we will find a home for it, and it will be loved. But it was £1. £1. Yeah. So that was my Stitchy Save. I will continue my journey as a Stitchy Saver. I'm going to carry on looking for stuff in charity shops and things, because it's just such a shame. But anyway, if anyone else has had any Stitchy Saves or anything they found in charity shops, please let me know, because well, just think like the history behind, like, how old is this? Like, I would love to know. Or if anyone knows, like, if this kit is still around, or like how old it is or anything, then please let me know. I'm very interested. So that was my bargain Stitchy Save from the charity shop. So I do have some other charity shop finds actually. They're at the bottom of my pile. This was from the British Heart Foundation shop, so a different shop. And I went in and I was looking through the box, and I came across this. Exotic Butterflies, Chartered Designs. It's a full book. This was £1.50. Its original price was $2.95, but it's cute. It is all just charts, so I can't show you the inside, but there's all sorts, and it like gives like the Latin names for them. So my idea is to do like a vintage like style like sampler with them and have like the Latin names like backstitched underneath them. You know, like old school like pictures and things you see in museums. So I found that one. But then I carried on looking through the books and I found this one. Seashells. Very random. I don't know if I'll ever stitch a seashell, but I just thought, oh, you could do something. I don't know what you could do, but again, it's got all the proper names for them. There's no pictures. No pictures. But there's a heck of a lot, and that's the table of contents. I mean, that's like, there's tons in there, little patterns. And again, that was £1.50. Not sure what year this is. 1990. Whoa, that's 30 years old, and this one 1991. 30. Wow. So yeah, so that's my charity shop find. Then we went to, again, now that we're out of lockdown, so to speak, you can go and visit, and we're members of the National Trust, and we went to somewhere local-ish, Quarry Bank Mill. You can't go in the houses or anything like that anymore, but they have lovely gardens there, so we went for a walk around the gardens, we had some lunch, we sat outside. It was a lovely day. Sat and people watched for a little while, had a coffee, but the shop was open at Quarry Bank, and they have a pre-loved bookshop and an actual National Trust shop. So again, just rummaging through, not thinking I would find anything, and I came across this Renaissance cross-stitch samplers. So bit historical. Do you like my Tudors? And this was £1 again. And I picked it up and I had a quick skim through it, and I was like, I am not going to do anything in there. But I thought, no, let's have a proper look. I was like, Gemma, it's £1, just buy it. So I got it home and I had a look, and there is some really nice little bits in here. I'm not sure I will do a lot of it. I mean, this is 1995, so again, it's an older book. But it gives you like history, like behind the sampler and stuff. My picture, like, I love this with the animals. And they have charted the parrot. So this won't show the patterns. Not something to cover that. Bear with. Oh, the patterns, don't look at that. How cute, that little parrot. I like that. I like the parrot. What else? There's something else in here I quite liked. There's like a wedding sampler. This I liked. Jane's Lion sampler. I love the colours. There's so much going on there, and it's apparently based on it. The original was stitched by a lady called Jane Bostock, and it was the central motif is actually from her sampler that she stitched in 1598. And apparently this is the well, at the time of this book, This is the earliest surviving English sampler and can be seen in the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. So maybe when I travel down to Faye one of these days, we'll have to have a visit to the V&A to have a look at this stuff. So let's see if I can see the original. So that is her. Is that her original something? Yes, this is apparently the oldest known. So that's what she stitched. So that is what. So I quite like that. But yeah, there's a few little like motifs and stuff in here. But then we went in the National Trust shop, and Quarry Bank was a cotton mill. There's a lot of history there. It was owned by Samuel Gregg, I want to call him, and he was known for being one of the few employers who looked after their workers. They have an apprentice house there at Quarry Bank, and like a whole village basically, like he built the houses for his workers to live in. So like he would take kids from the workhouse, they could live at the apprentice house, and then when they were old enough they would be given a house. I mean, I don't think it was all sunshine and rainbows for these people that worked in the mill. It's a tough place to work, but anyway, I digress. There is actually, I think it was on Channel 4 originally, a series called The Mill, and it is based at Quarry Bank, and it's about the real lives of people that worked there during the early 19th century. There was a lady, I think Esther, I want to call it Esther Price, but I'm not sure if Price was her surname, who was an apprentice there. And she eventually got a house and everything, but she was a bit of a rebel, and she had a really interesting story. Like you got to a certain age, and then you would leave the apprentice house and you would be classed as an adult and you would be paid more. But if a lot of people didn't have their birth certificates because they were orphans, they couldn't prove how old they were. So she was adamant that she was a certain age and she should be getting paid a certain wage, but they didn't believe her. So she ran away. She went to, I think she was from Liverpool originally, and she went to get her birth certificate to prove that she should be paid a proper wage. And I think that story's all in the mill and everything, but if you're interested you should watch it. It's really good. Anyway, so cotton mill. They produce cotton, they produce fabric. So, I might be a little bit ambitious, but I did buy some fabric because they make it there, and I was like, that's really cool. So I'm going to give it a go. So I got this, so it says on it, I got a fat quarter of this little blue and white stripe. It says, woven on heritage looms in the mill, these cotton fat quarters are a unique souvenir of Quarry Bank. Now, the count is the world's tiniest count. It's not even focusing. Yeah. So I'm going to try and stitch on this. I'm going to pick a little motif from this book, because that's where I bought it at Quarry Bank, and attempt to stitch it on there. It may not end well, but I'm going to give it a go. So I bought that, and then they had this really cool fabric with the actual mill on. Now the village is called Style, but this fabric is awesome. So it has the mill. The mill is at the top, and then it shows like the village, and you got people on there, kids climbing trees, the church, all sorts of houses like looms and stuff in the mill. I just thought it was really cool, and I thought I could maybe back the hoop that I stitch in with that, or do something with it. When I was in the shop buying it, the lady behind the counter was like, oh, what are you going to make with this? Like, ooh. And I was like, well, I cross stitch. And she was like, oh. I was like, yeah, so I'm going to attempt to stitch on it. She was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, she probably thinks, yeah, you not a cat in hell's chance. But I'm going to give it a go. When there's good lighting, might buy a magnifying glass. But let's give it a go. Sorry about the crinkling. So that was my National Trust haul. So that was that. Then I had a visit to the works. Bought a few bits in there. So the first thing I got was a little scrapbook inspired by Michelle Bendy. She has like a little cross stitch journal and she puts all the smalls in there. I thought that was a really good idea. So, because you run out of like, there's only so many like little hoops, cushions, little framed things that you want, isn't there? So I thought, get that. I'm going to stitch something cool, spot on the front, and then I can fill that. So there was that. To go with that, I had to buy some washi tape, £5 for 24. And I thought the patterns were like really nice. And there's some like skinny ones, fatter ones. All for £5. Bargains. And then I found these. And they're stickers that say handmade with love on them. And it was 36 for £1. And I thought, if I'm making people presents and stuff, I could stick one of these on. Or, if I wrote small enough, I could use these as like signing my work for when I'm long gone and all my stuff's in charity shops. Maybe. Who knows? So I've got those. And then, not stitching, but crafty. They had a 2 for £5 deal. So I saw this little needle felting kit. You can make this little dude here, this little panda. Comes with a booklet, everything you need. I've opened it up and had a look. Everything is in there. I've never done needle felting. I have got a couple of other kits, but I thought they were more expensive, so I don't want to go all in and then wreck something that I spent quite a bit of money on. So this was £2.50. I mean, it was £4 on its own, but it's in 2 £5 deals, so obviously I got something else, which was a diamond painting little kit of a wolf. So I wanted to give diamond painting a go for a little while. Again, I've looked at like proper kits in Hobbycraft and they're really quite expensive. So I don't want to spend like £20, £30 on a kit and I don't like it and I don't want to do anything with it. That's just wasteful. So again, £2.50. It's probably not the most, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know a word I'm looking for. Complicated perhaps, you know, but I can give it a go. £2.50. Again, everything's in there. It's a nice little dish there and a little beading tray, which will come in handy for stitching. So there's that. Then HAED had a sale, Heaven and Earth Designs, half price sale. So obviously I bought 4 patterns. Completely enabled by Faye at Fairy Floss. She texted me going, right, I've bought this, what are you going to buy? It's like, oh, okay then, if I must. So I bought Bookshelf by Randall Spangler. They were half price, so technically I've only bought 2. They did have just the Black Cat one on its own, and I did consider getting that, but then I quite like all of them, and I thought I could pick and choose ones and stitch them individually maybe, or do like a block of a few at a time. I don't know, who knows. But I got that one. Then I bought this mini Jacques Weezil. Sorry, the pictures are so small. Jacques Weezil, you have to say it like that. And that is by Scott Gustafson. For no particular reason. I was just browsing through the artists and I saw that, and there's a fox one as well. I think the fox, I can't remember what instrument the fox has. But I just thought he looked really cute in his little jester's costume with his drum. Thought he was. I'm a sucker for an animal in clothes, as you can tell from one of my other ones. Yeah, I just thought it was cute. And then this one is by Gary Patterson. It's called Mini Happy Howlidays. Now I said to Will, why don't you pick one? You pick a chart. What do you like? And I'll buy it. I'll stitch. So it's a little bulldog with reindeer antlers, and then he has some little friends in the snow, a rabbit, and I think it's like a hamster or a mouse, and they have little hats on, and the rabbit has little like socks on his ears. He's just adorable, and he's covered in lights, and he's got a candy cane in his mouth. So, but there's a poop ton of blue to stitch. I could maybe do it on a blue fabric, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So that's that one. And the last one is by Christina Hess, and this is another mini, and it's Queen Elhissabeth. It's a cat dressed as Queen Elizabeth I, and she's holding a mouse. She's just so regal, and just like, I think this is like how all cats think of themselves, above everyone else. Royalty needs to be treated like royalty, definitely. So that was my HAED haul. Then this arrived whilst I was filming my last Flosstube, and I finished filming and I went to the door. I was like, oh that's arrived, and I thought, oh, do I film like a quick little video? And I was like, no, it can wait. So I bought quite a few. Sorry about the crinkling. So they're not in alphabetical order anymore. They were. So we got Blue Beatrice, like a nice grey blue, baby blue. Blooming Crocus, blue beadboard, Bambino, which you can't really tell, but there's like purple, pink, peach in that. So then we've got Baby Chick, which is like a really muted soft yellow. Bella Rosa, which is pinks and creams, not really showing. Barn Door, which is like reddy browny rusty colours. Showing a lot more red on there than it is. Bean sprout, which is bean sprout. Bing cherry, again showing up a lot redder on camera than it actually is. More like a maroony, deep red colour. Barrel cactus, which is like a really nice, like a duck egg kind of colour. Blacksmith blue, which is like a denim-y colour. Last but not least, oh no, last but not least, I've got 2 more here. Oops. Betty Bluebell. And then we have Blessed Jess, which is like peachy creams. Nice. And then last but not least, Baby Blanket, which again you can't really tell. There's like pastel, like purple, pink, green, yellow, like you would have on a baby blanket. That was my classic colour workshop. They are on the list. I can now get them on a thread shop and they will be used at some point. My last bit of haul was Claire Brown Egg Stitch. She always writes cute little notes with cards. It's nice. She had another offer on mystery bags of 18 count Ada, so I went for that. Again, did not disappoint. So I just went for the 10 by 10 squares. So this is cloud blue, pink. Oh, that's showing up nice. Like starry blue and pink on there. Then bricks. Just thought it was really cool. No idea what I'd stitch on that, but it's cool. Then another piece of Cloudy Sky. I've used this before. I used it for my Adventurers Out There piece. So something birdie on there maybe. Then pink with white, like a bit of pink with love hearts on it. Adorable. Then this is the best one. This is the best one. I can't wait to find something to stitch on this. It's blood splatter. Something Halloweeny will be going on this. Most definitely. But I love her fabric. You may have noticed. I buy quite a bit of it. It's mostly what I stitch on. I absolutely love it. She's got such varied choice on her website, and it always arrives so quick, like barely even ordered it and it was here. So I can highly recommend. And I think she is having a sale on Sunday. Today is Friday the 30th of April, and I think on the 2nd of May on Sunday she is having a sale because she's getting rid of the 10 by 10 squares. She's changing the sizes that she offers, I think. So get there or be square. Square fabric. That was poor, I'm sorry. So that was all my haul, finally. So tomorrow is the 1st of May, and a lot of people do Maynia. I've never done Maynia before, so I'm going to give it a go. I'm not doing a new start every day. I have a plan written down. I'm also calling it Stitch Mayhem because why not? I know some people the Stitch Sania, and I think this is my ideas are pretty similar to Stitch Sania, but I like the use of the word May in the title. So my idea is new starts at the weekend and work on WIPs, works in progress, during the week, to have goals to meet, to then have a new start at the weekend. I have put on my plans for 2 new starts of a weekend, but I do work every other Saturday, so 2 new starts every weekend might be a bit of a push. So I will probably have 1 some weekends, but I have picked out I've picked out 10 new starts. So 10 new starts is my aim for the month of May, and to have progress on other things. So the progress I want to make, I would like, might be a little ambitious, but the month of May I would like a page finish on my Bilbo Baggins Heaven and Earth design. I would like, if not not a finish, but a section finish on my Funky Menagerie cell, because I had to restart it. So I want at least half of that done. I would like to aim for a page finish on my new normal long dog sampler, which I've shown you before. I'm sorry, I've not got this stuff out. I'll put pictures. So that might be a little ambitious as well, but why not? And then I would like to finish my Peruvian cat cell. So that's what I want to make progress on. My new starts, I have a list. I'll have a little pile here that I have curated. So 10 new starts. So the first one I picked out was a Little Mill Hill kit. There's a mixture of big and little projects here. So this is an I Love charmed ornament, and it's love stitching. I can't remember how much this was. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. I'm gonna try and turn this into a thread keep, like a little thing to stick on a thread keep. So that, I reckon I could start and finish that. So that's my first one. My next one is my Good Morning Maui Baby Yoda Grogu pattern. He is only little. I reckon I could get him started and finished in a day if I pushed it. So maybe we will do that. If we'll finish it, it's another matter. Then my next one is my Jardin Privé Eiffel Quaker, because I've got the fabric ready, and sorry, we'll have some crinkling now. So I just decided I'm going to do it on a grey 18 count Ada that I had already, and because it's French, I'm going with Classic Colourworks, and I'm going for the Tricolor. So red, white and blue. Changing it up because it only calls for 3 colours in the pattern anyway. So we've gone for Apple Fritter, Mermaid Fin, and then Antique Lace. So those are what we're going to, I think I'll have enough there to stitch, because I'm going to do 1/1. I prefer to do 1/1 on 18 count. I find it can be quite bulky otherwise. So that's that. Then the next is a biggie. It's a HAED, starting another HAED. This will be my 3rd HAED start. It's Mini Festive Feline by Lisa Parker. I've got the fabric. I thought I can get a few squares in. Why not? New start, get it started. Go for that. And then once it's started, I know a lot of people cross-stitch Christmas in July, so if I got it started, I could continue that in July and stitch that. Then my next one, my South American Angel. Now I've said before in a previous video, I am not going to stitch her as an angel. I'm going to miss off the wings and the little halo. Just because I want to. I just want her to be a South American fabulous lady. And she is going on Sunset from Good Redesigns. I have shown this before, but it's a fabulous piece of fabric. Absolutely love it, and she's just gonna pop right off that. I'm not sure whether it'll be this way or this way. It's called Sunset, so would it be that way? I don't know. I might look at the website to see which way it should be for Sunset. That is that. Sorry. I've talked so long, my brew has gone cold. Then my next one is a kit from. That's a very good question. I'm not sure. It came all the way from Moldova though. Set de Brodal. Anywho, it's a fox in a dress. It's a full kit. Comes with everything you need. I thought it was really cute. I think this only cost me like £9. I'm going to say LVK Crafts on Facebook. So that would be another new start. Then I have Maggie the Messmaker, which is a Gold Collection Dimensions kit. All the glare. You can see this cat reminded me of my cat Lolly, so I had to buy it. It's full coverage, near enough. There's like, that's the fabric, the beige there, but I think everything else is cross stitch. I did open it up. Oh my days, look at what a mess I made of the threads. But I've had this a while and I was like, I want to get this started. So that's that. And then I have my last two, you'll be glad to hear, are two Bothy Threads kits. So the first one is Hanging Around, which is a sloth. Oops. And then the next one is Toucan of Night Affection. Toucan. So I bought these with the intention of those sitting together with my South American Angel, because our last holiday that we had before the COVID was to Central and South America. We went to Costa Rica, Colombia and Panama, and it was incredible, and I wanted to commemorate that holiday with these three because we saw sloths in the wild. It was amazing. Didn't see a toucan, but South American, they're cool. We did go to like a bird sanctuary and they had toucans. So I didn't see one in the wild, but I saw one. And I saw lots of ladies in Colombia, in Cartagena, dressed like this, with lots of fruit on their heads. Yeah, this lady's not as strong as the ladies I saw with the masses of fruit on their heads. She's just carrying it on her shoulder. So yeah, so that is my plans. Those are what I hope to start for Mayhem. Stitch Mayhem. So that is it. Wow, this is my longest video yet at nearly 50 minutes. So I think I have talked enough. say I had so little stitching to show. I'm amazed I've talked this long. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for subscribing, I really appreciate it. If you're new here, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, so that is it. If you want, as usual, if you want to do the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe, it'd be really, really great. I'm making no promises of when my next video will be, because I do that and then things happen and life gets in the way and I don't come on and do. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Everyone have a great weekend, whatever you're doing. Stay safe, keep well, and bye for now.